Yo, 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 we live on location. Me and the blackest one, we at the crib, actually. We got a special guest today, though, man. One of the baddest bigs to ever grace the league. Straight out of Alabama, straight out of Big Blue Nation, multiple-time All-Star, All-NBA. And I'm telling you, he had that work down there on that, but he still got that work down there on that.
Right now to this day.
Big dog in the house, man. DeMarcus, Boogie, Cousins, man. We appreciate you, big fella.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys having me, bro.
Thank you for coming on the platform. We big fans of your game, the way you played, your demeanor, the way you carry yourself. Man, we rock with you real heavy, man. So we really appreciate you being on the show, bro.
Appreciate y'all boys, man.
When you first got to the league, who was the first person to bust your ass?
Oh, shit. Off top, my OG. It's crazy because it wasn't even on like, most people would think it's like an offensive game, like somebody had 40 on you or something like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I got manhandled, bro. Like, it was Reggie Evans. Reggie Evans, man.
Strong ass Reggie.
Shout out to the Joker, dog.
Boy, catch it, man.
That's my OG for life right there. But he manhandled me in my rookie season, bro. And you know how I was. I'ma talk my shit, I'ma pop my shit, like, but he backed it up and he was talking this shit. So that's my OG. He from across the street. He right down the street from me, Pensacola. Yeah. So that's my dog for sure.
Yeah, Reggie
that's
came
a real dog though, real tough
for sure.
Reggie became real dangerous once he started learning the game and got more smarter and how to use his strength the right way. He playing with them Seattle boys down there with Ray Allen and Rashad Lewis, and he was like, "Oh shit, he tripping. He done learn how to do that shit now."
I took a lot from his game. He was my vet when we were in Sacramento, so I took a lot of his tricks when it came to the offensive boards and just using your strength and using the opponent's momentum against them. So he actually taught me a lot when it came to the game.
Yeah, and a good dude,
Evans, man.
And a good dude, man.
Dog out there, real solid dude.
Real good dude, man. Mobile, Alabama. I've been to Mobile, Alabama. I had a homeboy named Brandon down there.
For what?
I've been to Mobile. He used to, one of the guys, he was trying to go to the league. I forgot Brandon's last name, but he was trying to go to the league or get a tryout. And he was coming to hoops in Chicago and working out with us during the summer.
Okay.
Man, I'm like, bro, we rock with you, bro. I was like, man, I'm gonna come down to Mobile. He was like, man, you ain't coming to Mobile. I said, bro, we finna fly to Miami, and when we leave Miami, we going to Mobile. When we left Miami, we hopped on this small ass plane and pulled up to that little small ass airport in Mobile. And we stayed at this hotel in the middle of Mobile, man. And we went out there for like 4 days, and come to find out, Murphy Lee and them was down there doing a concert because they had the softball. They be having that softball tournament every year during the summer down there. And so Murphy Lee was down there, so I wound up going to the Murphy Lee concert, to the club and all that. Then we went to a strip club. We went to the strip club. We was in this. Hey,
this is just D-Miles be doing Grand Theft Auto missions, side missions.
You done did some shit I ain't never did from that city.
Hold on. We went to this strip club, bro. We got in this, we ordered a car. Mind you, we in Mobile. We in this old ass 1970 limo in Mobile. So we ride to the strip club, and when we ride to the strip club, we ride down the little highway or the 2-lane highway or whatever. It's no street lights, and it's like we in the woods. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? They setting us up. They about to set us up. So all of a sudden, it's dark as hell, and all of a sudden, you get past these trees, and you see this big-ass barn. And you see all these cars.
Man, I don't know where you was at, bro.
You see all these cars.
The strip club was a barn?
The strip club was a barn, bro. It looked like a big ass. It looked like a big ass barn. That's what I'm talking about. You see all these cars parked on the grass. It was packed back there, so you can't hear no music or nothing. I'm like, oh shit, they done set us up in Mobile. We walked in that strip club, bro. We had one of the best time of our lives down there, bro. Kicking in the strip club, bro. I'm talking about it was live. I was like, oh, this crazy. It's crazy out here,
For
but
all
we
y'all didn't know, the blackest one.
Hey, we kicked it. We kicked it, man. I'm telling you, I went over my homeboy house. We sat in the yard. We barbecued. Man, I had a
Straight
good
up.
four,
Yeah.
5 days down in Mobile, man. And shout out to
Hey,
Mobile,
but check
man.
this
They
out.
Southern
Shout out
hospitality,
too.
man.
Shout out to the city. Hey, but the next time I step out, I'm taking you with me because you had a way better time than me, bro.
Hey,
Nah.
my man took us around, man. It was, and this was like I want to say this was probably like 04 or something like that. So this was a minute ago, like 04, like 20 years
I was still in Birmingham
ago.
in 04.
See,
Hey, that's the only part of Alabama I've been to UAB and we played was it Alabama State. Those only two. That's only two times I've been to Alabama.
Okay, yeah.
Couldn't tell you exactly where they are. I mean, well,
Stayed in
obviously
Montgomery and
is in
UAB in Birmingham. So
Birmingham.
But shout out to Mobile, man. They whole lot of Southern hospitality, man. Food was good, man. We enjoyed ourselves down there. Me and the homeboys, man. We enjoyed ourselves.
I love that.
So you started playing basketball in 7th grade, AAU. What made you start playing? Did you play football first, or what made you start playing basketball in 7th grade?
Man, honestly, I started off football. Like, I had dreams of being in the NFL, all that shit. But, I was growing crazy. So by 7th grade, I think I was, I want to say like 6'3", 6'4".
Jeez.
So moms was like, and then I'm getting out of that, pee-wee football over at 5th, 6th grade. Like, so now you move into, so mom's like, look, I don't think this the right sport for you. Like, she looking at all these, short-ass kids, and then it's my big lanky ass out there trying to play football. She's just like, I feel like you're going to get hurt. And it was just kind of this period in my life where I feel like everybody go through it. Like us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like coming from those type situations, those types of environments, you kind of go through this stage in life of, kind of picking your path. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, middle school, that's when it happens. That's when, that's usually when people hop off the porch. It's around that time, you know what I mean?
Definitely,
I had to figure out what I wanted to do or at least figure out what type of direction I wanted to go in my life. So it was actually my mom who influenced me to, play ball. She like, just try it out. Like, I mean, I used to play ball, like it would be outside at the park and shit like that. Like, in my neighborhood, people pull the portable basketball
roll
goals.
away.
I put some rocks on that joint.
Roll away.
It's 45 people hooping on one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was kind of used to. So as far as playing organized basketball, that wasn't something I was doing. So she told me to try it, and I was kind of against it. And the reason I was against it had nothing to do with me just like trying basketball. Like obviously I played, but I didn't really know the game. Mm-hmm. But it was the fact that it was AAU. A coach found me, like literally kind of found me. I'm skipping class type shit. Coach, he's there to see another kid at school. He catches me, walking down the hallway, whatever. So he has that conversation, finds out my height, my age. He's in all like, damn, most typical coaches, same typical type story.
Yeah.
So so it was all kind of new for me. But the part that I was afraid of was the traveling. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to like be everywhere. And me growing up the way I did, like. A part of being in that environment is trust issues when it comes to others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something I struggled with a lot. So when it came to taking that step, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know these people like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what they want with me.
Yeah.
So gladly nothing. All my thoughts were wrong. He was some of the best people that I've ever met. And that's kind of how my basketball journey started. It was literally mom's like, look, dude, you need to go try this. Like, this might be good for you. Keep you out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And she was like, you never know what'll happen. Like, it could be good for you. So it ended up working. And it was more so for the structure as well. Like, I'm big on that too when it comes to, being on that side of things now with being a father. It's like I want my kids, if it's not sports, some type of like team unity type thing growing up. And I think it's great for, later on in life for just being able to communicate with others and things of that nature. You don't realize it as a kid, but later on it kind of all makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was also part of the reason I started playing ball.
What was your biggest growth spurt back then?
I don't know, bro, because
You
like I said, I started hooping. Yeah, so I was just kind of like used to it at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you was always the biggest kid.
Yeah, before I was playing basketball, it's all about measurements and shit then. So before I started playing, I just knew I was tall. I don't even think I knew how tall I was.
Yeah.
Right.
So once I started playing ball, it was, I'm 6'4" this year. Damn, he grew 2 inches over the summer. I'm 6'6" now. By freshman year of high school, I was, 6'10". So that's just kind of how it worked out. I would say
That's crazy.
that's probably your answer right there between 7th grade and 9th grade. That's when I hit my spurt. So yeah.
Yeah, I preach that to my kids, and I tell other parents like basketball just ain't about being a superstar or who better. It shows you camaraderie. It shows you how to follow direction. It teaches you how to communicate with others. It makes it gets you disciplined if you can follow the right instruction. And like I say, it gets you friends. Like if your kid don't have friends, like he might not be friends with all 12 players, but he gonna find 1 or 2 guys on the team that he click with and that he go with. So it ain't all about, I'm putting you in. I was telling my son's mother that it ain't all about, I'm putting them play basketball just to be a superstar. I was like, it's teaching them so much more that he can learn in life to go forward and that he can use as a tool. Like one of the biggest things, teamwork, working with others. So I definitely preach that. And I'm glad I hopped in it for that because it taught me a whole lot to move around with.
You can't run from it, bro. That got us all, like everybody that plays sports, to get you prepared for life. Whether you're gonna go work in the office with other people, it teach you that you ain't about to be by yourself, and you got to consider others. You got to respect others. You got to all of that stuff. You got to be respectful of other people's times and everything. It ain't about you, my boy. Whether you an only child, whether you got a big family, and you want it to be about you. You got to learn how to work in the confines of others, and that come with everything. We know about them road trips. Sleeping arrangements be treacherous.
Folks be on the floor, like everywhere, man. That's them old school AAU days and them Holiday Inn, them days in, and all that.
It's 6 to a room, bro.
You know it,
boy. Damn.
It's 15 of us. It's 3 rooms.
Right.
You start playing basketball. When did you fall in love with it? Like, I need this every day or every other day. I need to go hoop. And like you fell in love with basketball. What grade was you in when you fell in love with it?
I fell in love with it, honestly, kind of when I started because, everything happened so fast for me. So, I kind of talk about the growth spurt, and then even when it came to the timeline of me starting and then me getting to a place that I also wasn't ready for. But I fell in love with it right away. Like I'm like, this was perfect. Like this was for me. You know what I'm saying? I picked the game up. Yeah, my mom was right. I picked the game up right away. Like it was damn near like natural. It was like it was meant to be. You know what I'm saying? And when I would say I fell in love with it, I would say about 8th grade. Cause that's when a
year later.
Like I'm like, all right, like I know I'm good at this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would say 8th grade going into freshman year. And by the end of freshman year, this is when it kind of got, strange for me. By the end of freshman year, I was ranked the #1 freshman in the country. So then it got
crazy.
Yeah, I'm just like, whoa, what the hell is going on? Like, you know what I mean?
Nowhere on there.
Yeah, and I did come out of nowhere, and me being from, Alabama, it's not a lot of exposure. It's not a lot of, it's a lot of hype when it comes to football. Alabama's a football state automatically.
Yeah, right.
But when it comes to exposure for basketball, it's just not a lot down there. So it's a lot of guys that kind of, come up through the cracks and, make something of themselves. So I definitely wasn't ready for it, and I wasn't prepared. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't really have the knowledge to prepare me. you know, from my own household or the people around me. And like I said, you know, I'm a product of my environment, and I take that with the good and the bad. That's just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And as you get older, as you mature, you learn to, you know, you learn to separate those things in your life that, you know, this been a part of me for so long, but shit, this shit been holding me back for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again where this same thing is holding me back. So let me get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Or you being, you know, your foundation, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna be a man of my word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That being
all
a
we
part of your
can,
foundation, you can carry that through life, the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So, you know, I take the good with the bad, but you just gotta kind of learn to separate that. And that's something I try to preach to these young boys coming up, similar to our situations, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of talent, and talent is never the question. It's a bunch of talented people. It's just, you know what I'm saying, getting that shit to click up here. Yeah. And it's more so relatable when it's coming from somebody that's not only cut from the same cloth, but it's actually experienced it. So guys like yourselves, guys like me, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be one of those advocates for them young boys coming up, because it's a lot of talented young boys. It's just they don't have the guidance, they don't have the support, and honestly, they don't have the belief because their reality is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So try to be an advocate for those type kids coming up.
When you say you wasn't ready, when you weren't prepared, like you mean like as far as like to deal with so much success so quick, like you say you just picked up the game, then you go from nowhere to like, you know what I'm saying, the number one freshman in America.
In 2 years.
That being like now, not only in Mobile, Alabama, where it's really a football state, like you the first real basketball star in who knows how long, and then like not only there, but the whole country. Like, how did that change overnight when you said it got weird? Did like the attention just become crazy from nothing to like crazy?
Bro, it was crazy. Like it was more so the attention. It was, like I said, I dealt with trust issues throughout my whole life, and part of it came from, you know what I'm saying, just dealing with the hoop part. But you know how it was back in the day, and you know, back then it wasn't necessarily, you know, I got a check or I got a house. Back then, you know, they getting you with the shoes, they getting you with, I could see you here. Like it was just it was a different type game. And then it was, you know, it was the money sharks back then, but me being in Alabama, and like that's not really a normal thing. Like out west, you'll see that a lot more. You know, Texas, you would see that. Up north, New York, those type things was happening. Florida, Bama, that shit wasn't happening. Like that wasn't a normal thing. Like, so you know, it was a lot of people from just out of town, out of state coming in. You know, I want to, and it's just like who are you, bro? Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it was weird. It was a lot of attention. It was just, and it was super weird because I caught myself where I was dealing with a lot of adults. You know what I'm saying? And me being that age, I'm a young kid, but I look like an adult. You know what I mean?
Definitely
like, so these people approach me as an adult, talking business, money, like it was just weird, bro. And I'm just like, bro, like,
a lot.
Like this ain't it.
I used to send them folks to
like,
my
y'all
mama.
gotta fall back. Like,
Yeah, we used to play good cop, bad cop. Me and my mama, I used to send them folks straight to my mama because I knew she was gonna be like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom's definitely played a huge part in like just protecting me and kind of guiding me through that wild part of my life. But even at the same time, it was damn near the blind leading the blind. Because she was just as ignorant as me when it came to dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? So
real talk.
we just, you know, we held hands, put our head down. We gonna push through this shit together and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that was more so how we got through it. So yeah.
Who was you watching when you came up to like kind of, you know, get moves and stuff from that game? Like who was you watching? And another question, did football instill your demeanor for basketball, like your toughness, like way you don't play, how aggressive you was in basketball? Did football instill that in you?
The demeanor, and I don't know, bro. I think that just come from. I think that goes back to just your environment. Like my demeanor didn't come from, like my sport, if that makes sense. Like my demeanor came from how I'm gonna carry myself every day in life before. I found, success, or like I'm already preparing myself. Like I'm preparing myself in my reality. So my demeanor was a lot like it was just different anyway. You know what I'm saying? So football definitely played in, the physical part of it, but just my demeanor. And I'm not saying it's a positive thing or the correct thing. I'm just saying I believe my demeanor stems from that part of my life. And as far as the offensive game, man, I had a lot of guys. I never really had a favorite team growing up. I just had favorite players. So, and it wasn't, I wasn't the guy that, liked the guy that was hyped up. Like I liked you because it was something about your game that I found unique. So for me, it was guys like, Amari Stoudemire. I love Carmelo's my favorite player all time.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I was more so a guy. I watched a few bigs, but they weren't like your typical bigs if I was watching. It was Pau Gasol. Obviously, Shaq. Like I thought Shaq was the most dominant thing to ever touch a basketball. So I'm like, I want to be that. Like, you know what I mean? So obviously Shaq. And but when I say I've thought to myself and self-reflected over my career, just been trying to figure out like what exactly or what style of play do I think matches me that's come through the league. And it's crazy. We've had, our bad history or whatever, and we're on a new path now, but it was Charles Barkley. Like when I really thought about it, like I'm like, I felt like I was just a taller version of Charles, big that did everything. Like, you know what I mean? And was an enforcer, was physical, like just did everything. And
did everything.
At the end of the day, I felt like I was similar, or my game was similar to Barkley's. Just taller.
7 foot Barkley. That's crazy. How was it for you once you got when you become freshman, the top freshman, then you sustain that, your ranking up to sophomore, junior, then you get to senior year, like you get all of these Parade All-American, Hoop Summit, Jordan Brand, McDonald's game. Like, how was it when it came time for that? Because I know, like how you said, basketball ain't really a big thing. It can't be, too many of y'all coming out of there. So how was that to achieve those goals? And then, those is like, in our journeys, those are like benchmarks, you know what I'm saying? Like little benchmarks, like you do this, you basically gonna do this and do this. So what was that like for you achieving those goals? Because McDonald's is definitely one of those things.
Bro, it was actually really treacherous. My adventure to getting to that point, like it was a struggle for me. But I feel like it definitely molded me and helped me, obviously helped me figure out where I want to go in life. But from sophomore year to junior year, like that's when I kind of had to, like I was once again at those crossroads. Like, so it was like, you got this talent, everybody around you is telling you you can be great. Like, so you're gonna either embrace that or embrace the stupid shit going around you. So that's when I took it serious. Like, I started taking my education serious. Like, I'm like, I need to prepare myself to be a collegiate athlete. Like, this is that's my next goal now. And, I would hear the hype about, being an NBA player and all that, but I had a lot of insecurities as a hooper and it didn't have anything to do with, what's going on around me. It was me looking at these NBA guys. I'm like, man, ain't no way in hell I can match up with that, bro. Like, so that shit, like, I'm like, nah, like, I'm not ready for that. Regardless of y'all telling me, I'm not ready for that. I'm looking at dudes like Shaq and shit. It's like, I can't do nothing with that. Like, I kind of took it step by step, and, the first step was me getting to college. So from sophomore to junior year, I had to make a transition in my life, got into a lot of just bullshit, like, just bullshit, bro. Just
environment.
And I had to straighten my life out for real, man. Like, just had to straighten my life out, and it was also just trying to, figure out this new wave that's going on in my life. I got a lot of attention on me that I didn't ask for. Now I'm supposed to act this certain type way because now, I got the cameras on me. So now it's like, well, you got to be professional. I'm like, man, I don't know how to be fucking professional, bro. Like, what you mean? Like, I know how to be me. Like,
you the only one around your friends that you can't do everything that everybody else around you can do. I had to realize that being, in the hood and so forth.
Don't even know it
it's
yet.
Like, it's like, man, it's like I'm already got this on me, but I'm in the middle of the jungle though, with everybody else doing everything they want to do, and I just got to be cool, or I just can't go and hang in the projects, or I just can't stay out late and do all the stuff that my homeboys or my friends doing. And that's hard for a young kid, coming out of somewhere where you don't see nobody else coming out of here or making it like that. So then they telling you supposed to be going to the league. It's like, how you supposed to believe that? Like, how I supposed to believe that when I don't see nobody else go to the league? I see the same dude that y'all say was nice before me be right back here in 2-3 years. So I really do understand what you say. It's like, man, I can't believe that. That's like fool's gold.
Like, that ain't even my reality, bro. Like, you telling me I'm going to the NBA. How many people you know in the NBA?
Straight up.
Well, none. Well, how the hell you know I'm going to the
From
NBA,
around
bro?
here,
Like, did you get a scoop? Like how you know?
Yeah.
So,
This
man,
shit just don't seem real.
It's not real at all. And obviously, you live and learn, and you understand where the OGs see your potential. The people around you see your potential when you don't see it sometimes. So, if you are getting remarks like that, man, you might want to pay attention to it. That's just a message for the youth. Like, somebody's seeing something you ain't, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it wasn't meant for you to see it. Maybe it was meant for them to tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you getting compliments like that, pay attention to it, man. It's some truth behind it.
When you first seen that list, like the McDonald's game, that's like the biggest all-star game that we can play in, man. Like, when you see your list on there with the top players around the country, because I know you play AAU ball, you done heard about the Lance Stevensons, the Avery Bradley, the John Walls, and all these guys. To hear your name be amongst them and you coming from Mobile, Alabama, like, how was that for you and your family? Like, I know me and Q made it was big time. That was like like Q just said, like another. That's the road to
milestone,
to the goal. You know what I'm saying?
So obviously, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm making the right steps. Like, I'm putting myself in a category that a lot of guys haven't, been in with hoop. And I'm still very naive when it comes to saying at this point after making the game, I'm still very naive to, everything that's coming with it. But I'm like, damn, I know about the McDonald's game. I done seen Bron and, you know what I'm saying? I done seen this guy. I done seen Sebastian Telfair. I done seen these guys doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I done put myself in a pretty elite category. So, obviously, more so for me, I was the type guy that was just kind of building this confidence as I was going through this journey. You know what I mean? So to sit here and say, you know what, I plan on being a McDonald's, that wasn't the plan. But when I got it, I'm like, man, I did some cool shit. I did some dope shit. Like, proud of myself. Absolutely. This is amazing. But it was more so for me, it's like, it was building me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really, the journey I was on, I didn't really have a end mark. I'm just like, bro, just push. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing. And every achievement I made, it just built me up more. I'm like, man, I'm doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how, I guess you could say my journey was day to day in my mind, if that makes sense. So, so it was definitely a special moment for me, for sure.
When you went to JBC, Jordan Brand class, was Mike there? Did you get a chance to meet Mike?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because he definitely talked to us. He talked to us in like this little private room, like before practice or something like that. That was pretty dope.
How was that for you to run into Mike Jordan?
Bro, crazy thing is, the first time I saw Michael Jordan was in St. Louis at the Nike Jamboree camp. So that was like my coming out party. That's the camp that put me on the map as far as the #1 player. So I'm walking into this. I got an invite to the camp. Didn't really know what I was going to. I walk into this arena. We were at what's the university? What's the university there?
You got St.
Louis University?
And you got
Is it a St. Louis University? It might have been. It was a big university, whatever. All brick, red bricks.
Yeah, that's St. Louis, yeah.
Sound like
All right,
St.
for
Louis, yeah.
Yeah,
St.
all
Louis,
right,
yeah.
for sure. So we was there, and I walked through the gym doors, and it was kind of like this, like inflatable balloon tunnel. Like it was crazy. Like that kind of went into the gym, and I'm walking through the tunnel. It's nobody around. The first person I see is Michael Jordan. I'm like, what the fuck am I at? Like, what is happening? Like, this is the first person I see walking into the gym. So, like, my heart drops. Like, shit. So I'm like, oh, I'm at some big time shit. Like, let me lace these sneaks up. Like, let me get right out here. You know what I mean? So, like, seeing Mike as the first person walking through the door, it definitely set the tone for me. Like, let me go out here and do what I got to do. Like, obviously, there's some eyes in here.
Yeah,
you know what I
show
mean?
off
So,
in front of Mike.
yeah, and it worked out in my favor. Appreciate that, Mike. You saving lives out here, man.
Was there almost anybody else other than Kentucky that you committed to?
Or should he say, was it anybody other than Cal? Should he say that?
Mike Davis. Shout out to Mike Davis. I was committed. So I committed to UAB my 10th grade year. So like I said, I had a lot of just bullshit happen between 10th grade to junior year of high school. So it was just a bad space in my life. So Mike Davis was the first coach that ever like recruit me. I went to a camp my 8th grade, was 7th going into 8th grade summer. I went to a camp at Indiana while Mike Davis was still there. You know, I did well at the camp. You know, coach was like, you know, I'm super talented. He loved what I, you know, was doing on the floor. So he was like the first like high level coach to like compliment my game. So like, I'm like, man, like this is great. So we stayed in touch over the years, and going out of 8th grade summer, he sent me my first letter ever from a school. So and I knew it was a personal letter. Well, actually, it was handwritten. You know, so I thought that was super dope, and it was touching for me. So obviously, we gained trust over the years. We had a relationship over the years, and he ended up ironically getting a job at UAB. So in my head at the time, and the time and space I was in my life at the time, I'm like, oh, this is meant to be. I'm supposed to be here. Like, I'm supposed to represent, you know, Birmingham and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, it didn't, it wasn't meant to be. So, but I was committed to UAB. And it was also on the back end, we were trying to create a play to where he could get the job at Alabama. I wanted to represent Alabama, but, you know, on the biggest stage that I felt at the time. And it just didn't, the stars didn't align for that to happen. So, you know, I ended up committing to UAB, and by the start of junior year, I opened my recruitment back up.
And then you committed to Memphis?
Yeah, at this point, you know, I'm locked in with Cal for sure. I was always a Cal fan. I was a fan of his program. I was a fan of his playing style. And, you know, my first time seeing Cal in Memphis was ironically at a UAB game. I saw Sean Williams play, and I'm like, bro, I want to be like that. Like, I want to hoop like him. Sean shooting threes, Sean diamond, he handling the ball, like, he's doing everything. I'm like, that's exactly how I'm trying to hoop. Like, and you know, coming up in that era, if you was over 6'5", you played center, like automatically. It was no other choice. Like, so you know, that's just the times of the game that goes along with the evolution of the game. But coming up, you know, they put you under the basket, and every old head trying to teach you to do the sky hook, or, you know, whatever it is. So, yeah, jump hook, sky hook. So, you know, I saw Sean and I'm like, man, that's how I'm trying to play. Like, you know what I mean? So I knew about Cal, and he finally reached out when I opened my recruitment back up. And once he did, I'm like, this is exactly where I'm trying to be.
No-brainer.
Like, yeah. And, you know, the rest is history. So we made it happen. Well, with the Memphis situation, obviously Cal left and went to Kentucky that same summer. So I had already been on a visit to Kentucky. So luckily enough, you know, I kind of knew the works of it. So, well, not a visit. I went to a camp, but obviously they showed me around on an unofficial.
Yeah.
So I knew about Kentucky, so it was just like, this is an easy decision. I'll just follow you there. You know what I mean? And
were you one of the first guys of that recruiting class to follow him there?
We were that first class, absolutely.
How was it, you know, seeing that recruiting class, you and John leading the way with the guys y'all coming in? Like, what was the mentality? Because y'all knew y'all had a bunch of talent, plus with the talent they had left over from last year. Like, what was the mindset going into that? Because a lot of y'all was ranked high, you know, at the beginning of the season to win it all.
So with that, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When it came to Memphis, like, you know, I was preparing for college. Like, I'm prepared to go here, get better. You know, not thinking about no one and done type. Like, I'm going to college. This is about to be dope. Once that's, and you know, you kind of had that interaction with the fans and things. It was through Facebook back then, so it was a little different. You know what I mean?
FB era.
Right. Facebook, MySpace, shit like that. So it was a little different, you know, with the interaction. But bro, once that switch happened to Kentucky, bro, it was a whole nother type of pressure. Like it was
Chucky
crazy.
Nation came out, you know.
Yeah, so it like the narrative went from, you know, this talented group of freshmen about to come into Memphis, like, you know, kind of followed, because after this, it was D-Rose and it was Tyreek, and we were that next class coming in. Yeah. So, you know, Cal was doing his own thing in that era of basketball. Once it switched to Kentucky, it was like a whole nother...
Big Blue Nation.
So it went from the talented freshman to, you know, this freshman class can lead us to a championship.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like, damn. Like, like we haven't even had a practice yet. Like, it was...
Yeah.
So it definitely... moving to Kentucky definitely put, you know, a whole new attention on us. You know, and at the time, you know, Kentucky was... It was kind of their down years. They were in their dog years at the time. So it was like a whole new energy. You know, they were craving a winning, you know, situation, and everything just kind of, you know, lined up together perfectly. And some of the best times of my life, bro. Honestly, like I've never had that much fun playing basketball, like outside of Kentucky. It's not even close. Not even close.
What was those practices like, man? Like y'all was so stacked up and loaded as you know, top to bottom as a roster. Like what was those practices like? And then I want to know, what was it like for your first Midnight Madness?
Oh man. So those practices, bro, man, it was like Clash of the Titans, like every day, bro. On one end, it's the guards going at it. You got Jay Wall, you got Bled, like these dudes. And I ain't gonna lie, them dudes them two right there set the tone when it came to competing every day. Because obviously when Jay Wall was that guy coming out, like it was already stamped #1 player, you know, in the country, #1 draft pick. All these things was kind of already stamped. The league was in love with, you know, the athletic point guards. They just had got D-Rose. So Jay Wall was like that next thing up. So it was already stamped. But then you got to do like Bled, who just, you know, he from my neck of the woods. He just hungry. Like, he one of these lions out here with their ribs showing. He gonna eat whatever in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was just his mindset. He hungry, like he ain't got nothing to lose. Like I'm out here trying to get whatever I can. So, And on top of that, John trying to prove every day that, you know, I am what they say I am.
Yeah.
So just that dynamic alone, it was Clash of the Titans every single day, bro. Like, it was like, you could see like electricity when these dudes going at it. Like, it was so crazy. So between those two, and we had a great group of bigs with Patrick Patterson, Daniel Orton, Josh Harrelson. Yeah, so we had a great group of bigs. Same thing, like we going at it every day. You know, I'm the best big coming out of high school at the time, but D.O. ranked number 2.
Yeah. Right.
He like, shit, I want that too. Like, you know what I mean? I want that love. So every day we competed, and it was never where it was jealousy, envy, or hating on the next man. It was simply out of love. Like, I know Jay Wall knew Bled was hungry. Like, I'm gonna embrace that and I'm gonna battle with you. Bled knew that John was trying to prove he was that. It's cool. I'm gonna help you get there, bro. We gonna work every day. And it was the same thing that went with the bigs. And, you know, it was one big family, and we kind of set that tone and standard as far as how to, you know, carry yourself, how to embrace, you know, your teammates, one another, embrace the talent around you. Like, it wasn't about one person. We got too much talent.
Yeah.
If everybody eat, everybody win. And we kind of set that tone when it came to, you know, coming into Kentucky. And that's why it's been so successful over the years. But it was definitely a special moment. And it was, like I said, it was the best time of my life when it came to basketball.
The
How
Midnight
crazy
Madness.
was Rupp Arena for Midnight Madness, though? Like, that's like the little coming out party. Like, hello world. It's like, it's going nuts.
It was crazy, bro. Like, to be in front of 40,000 people, like, sold out.
Everybody there.
For a practice, man, they in there going crazy, bro. The fireworks, they got the whole stage set up for us. And, you know, that's pretty common now, but at the time, you know, they weren't doing it like that. So, bro, we felt on top of the world. Like, and like I said, for me, like, me, you know, coming up on that stage and seeing the crowd react to me, that shit just, like I said, it just fed the monster. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, this it right here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this the moment. Like, it's about to happen for me. So, definitely some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, I took a visit to Kentucky. I seen a lot of people dorm rooms. When I seen that dorm room, how they took care of the player, I was like, this where y'all stay
Lodge.
at? Like, this where y'all stay at? Oh, this crazy.
I went out, shout out Big Nazi Muhammad, Big Z up there showing me around on my visit.
Okay. Yeah.
Him, Hirishimu Evans. Yup.
We definitely we were the last class for the Wildcat. Nah, it was 2 more classes for the Wildcat Lodge. They got a whole it's nothing like you remember.
It's crazy now, huh?
Like, everything has changed, but the campus is completely different, bro. It's not the same school. Like, I'm glad to know I played a huge part in that.
Straight up.
Yeah. You gotta put some of them bricks in there.
I'll definitely put some of them buildings up, man.
Speak about the fan base, because Kentucky got one of the biggest fan bases ever, and I know people still to this day be like, Wildcat, so you just randomly, people just be like Kentucky.
Oh, that's forever.
Just the fan base of being a Wildcat, like, that's like a forever thing, and they got one of the biggest fans. Just speak about the fan base and how on the road and everywhere y'all went, they came and represented for y'all.
When I tell you the best fan base to ever be a part
repping.
of. Yeah, like, man, they gonna support you through thick and thin. They gonna support you 10 years, 15, 20, 25. They literally love you and support you for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah.
They're one of the best fan bases I've ever been a part of. The support, it's nonstop, bro. We could play a game on Mars. They gonna show up 100,000 deep, bro. Blue shirted up, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So the best fan base ever, man. And I'm blessed and honored to be a part of it. They've, you know, supported me through my entire career, and they still supporting me. And you know, I'm forever grateful for that.
How did you get the nickname Boogie?
Rod Strickland. Strick was my coach at UK, my year at UK.
Shout out Strick.
Yeah. So, you know, Strick he had his own little lingo back then, and he would say, this guy got Boogie in his game. He got a lot of Boog in his game.
Yeah.
So he told me that one day, and I'm like, appreciate. Like, and coming from Strick, I'm like, bro, thank you.
Right.
Like, Strick one of them. Like,
yeah.
So, he Strick Boogie, and it, bro, you calling me Boogie, bet that's my name. Like, you heard Strick, my name Boogie. So, Strick stamped that, and it's stuck ever since.
That's what's up.
At the end of the season, was it easy? Like, did you know, like, coming down the stretch? Because y'all was, like, damn near like a semi-pro team. Y'all was had, like, 6, 7 dudes projected in the draft and this and that. Like, once y'all ended the season, did you already know, like, all right, this what we about to do? It's about to be a we out of here type situation. How did that go for you?
Nah, that wasn't the case for me. I was hurt when we lost. And, obviously it was very unexpected for us because, we felt like we were the best team.
Yeah.
But that college shit just different. All it take is one. In the league and professional sports, you get a couple chances. You know what I mean? Like, you can mess up one game and come back and have 3, 4 strong ones.
Yeah.
College, just one bad game, it's over. So it's not
Joe Mazzulla in West Virginia.
Man, I got my little Arthur fist every time Joe Mazzulla pop up on my screen.
That's funny as hell.
Did we know we were out of there? It was one person that knew they was out of there. That was Jay Wall. Like, he was the number 1 pick. Like, there's no reason to come back. But for me, it was probably about a week or 2 stretch, like after that season was over, where, you kind of recovering from the loss. And, I ain't got 20 agents lined up, waiting to, all right, pack your shit up, let's go. Like, I didn't have that type situation. So I'm like calling home to mom, like, hey man, like, what I do now? Like, you know what I'm saying? She like, hey, just finish the school year out. Like, that's all you need to be worried about. So I'm like, man, at this point, I'm assuming I'm coming back. Like, so I have a talk with Cal, and it was short and sweet. I've been on record saying this before, but it's just, Cal was just like, man, if you want to help my family, you'll come back. If you want to help your family, you going to the pros.
You out of here.
Yeah, so I'm just, all right, I appreciate you, Kyle. Like, I know what I'm going to do. Like, yeah. So Cal, he's always been that type of guy when it comes to, doing what's best for the player. He cares about the players. Like, he cares about their futures. And obviously it's a help me help you business. That's just how a coach and player relationship works. Like, if you help me, I can help you. Like, simple as that. So that was understood. And, he helped push me and help me get to that point where I was prepared, or I was confident enough to try to take that jump into, the next level. So, it was Kyle. He basically made that decision for me. But yeah, my crybaby ass, I definitely was ready to come back. I'm like, hey, me and John were dorm mates. So, the next day after the game, I'm like, hey, bro, we running this back, right? And John like, man, hell no. Like, I'm out of here, bro. You tripping. I'm like, all right, for sure, you right. Like,
Running what back?
like, man. So in my head,
Like, I'm about to go get a suit. You feel me? I got some shit to do.
Yeah, like, you tripping, bro. I'm actually out of here next week, man. You
Straight up.
So
we just witnessed the draft a couple of days ago. Your process to the draft, did you have to work out for a bunch of teams?
How many teams did I worked out for? I worked out for Philly, who had the 3rd pick. I worked out for Jersey, who had the 2nd pick. No, Philly had, yeah. Jersey had 2nd pick, and then I worked out for the Kings. Oh, and Detroit. I had a secret workout with Detroit or whatever. So
The last minute workout.
But as far as, trying to, once you kind of get the agent, they start trying to, get the right fit for your guy. And at the time, Joe Dumars was the GM of the Pistons. So, I think me and him working together and me coming in the league definitely would have been perfect for me coming up. Like, he would have been a great guy to kind of guide me through because, like I said, it's relatable. You know what I mean? He understands. He gets it. And I definitely think he could have helped me, on a clearer path or a cleaner path, for that matter.
Did you feel like you knew you was gonna possibly go to the Kings in the draft?
Honestly, no.
That's crazy.
Well, in a way, I did.
Never go where they really think.
Yeah, in a way, I did. Literally, my best workout was for the Kings. Like, I shot like 73% or something for the entire workout. Like, it was something crazy. But I didn't think I was going to Sac. I was looking at rosters and things of that nature, and at the time, Philly needed a big.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it only makes sense, like, for me to go to Philly. You know what I mean? Like, but it didn't happen that way. And I had a great workout in Philly. I actually matched up against Derek Favors at the time. And in my opinion, he may feel otherwise, but nah, it for sure was like that. I cook, bro. Like, I cook, bro, in the workouts. So, and he may say otherwise, but whatever. But, I felt like, all right, I stamped myself. I should go number 2, like, but it didn't work out that way. So,
we watch the draft every year. How was it like having your family with you and they get a chance to experience, like, you actually fulfilling the dream that everybody had for you or making it to the league, seeing your mom face and, just experience the whole thing. Just tell us the whole experience for the draft and all that stuff that you had to go through and your family went through.
Man, it was cool, bro. It was super cool. And, just everything that happened was an experience for us. Shit, going to New York was an experience. Like, we ain't never been to New York. Like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so just everything, shit. I would say that was my mom's first flight. Now that I think about it, like, my grandmother went, like, that was their first, like, flight. So it was milestones for a lot of people that day.
Wow.
It was super dope. My mom was super emotional, just proud to see me get to that point. She knew she saw every up and down. Like, she was with me along the journey to get to that point. So super proud, super emotional. Just proud of her baby boy or whatever. So that was dope, and I was glad I could make her proud in that moment. You know what I mean? That was my thank you, back to her for her sacrifices. You know what I mean? Word. So it was special for everybody. My grandmother sacrificed a lot for our family, so her to be able to see that moment and see me hit that milestone, that was great for us as well. So my entire family came. My sisters were young then. So they didn't really understand it that much. Yeah. It was great for my little brother because he was at that stage in his life where he's trying to, figure out what he wants to do. So just seeing some type of success right in front of him, not necessarily following in my footsteps or trying to be like me, but just realizing, like, success is possible even in our situation. Yeah. So, and we didn't have the pops to, tell us that. So I was that example for him. Mm-hmm. So, him being able to see that and, just hoping I can inspire him to, keep his head down, keep pushing tight.
Believe
so, it was dope for everybody, and it was definitely a special moment for us.
How was it for you, man? Like, when you actually hit that stage, you walk across the stage, you shake that hand, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know in that one moment, like, everybody that I've ever known is seeing me right now. Like, that was how, like, that was the thought I had when I was up there shaking Davis' turn hand. Like, the world is seeing me right now. Like, what did that feel like for you? Like you said, every little milestone builds you up and give you that confidence. Like, this is like the at this point, the highest peak you done reached in your life. Like, what did that feel like for you?
I felt like I was on top of the world, man.
Straight up.
And honestly, like, once you go through that draft process, it makes a little more sense. It touches you a little differently, but you don't really have a lot of time to like take it in. If you know what I
Right,
mean.
because they try to hurry you
once you get
on.
off that camera, like, you know, thank you. You think you going behind the curtain, you about to celebrate with your people. Like,
You gotta take pictures. You gotta put the hat on with the ball.
Yeah,
bro, you put that hat on, they
going
put
through
your
the
ass
gambit.
to work, bro. Get your ass.
instantly
You
get their
are
money.
now in the NBA, brother. Like,
Then they pull you. Then how they do you? They pull you aside for a second. Hold on, the team won't talk to you, like the coach or the GM or somebody. They give you a little second from your little photo ops and all of this, and then you get that in. Then they throw your ass right back to it.
you getting right back to work, bro. And so for me, it's like in that moment, I'm thinking a million thoughts, but I can't really just lock in on one. So it's like a whirlwind while I'm up there. So I get off the stage and I'm like, I'm gonna get back here. I'm gonna see my folk. We about to hug it out, celebrate. And it was just like, whoa, like what is this? Like, you got 6 million interviews, you got 6 million microphones in your face, and you back there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So once that happened, like I'm just like it's no warning, it's no heads up, it's just
I had to wait for Q on mine. I had to wait for Q.
Yeah, so by that time, by the end of the night, bro, I was just exhausted, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, a lot just happened, a lot. Like,
oh man, like look, we just did when we just at the draft. We told a young fella, I say, listen, I was so thankful for my pop. My pop, one of them dudes. You know how you get to the table, they got all of these things. It's stuff everywhere. Well, my pops took everything. It's at the house right now, Joe. So I say, listen. I told the young fella, I say, listen, if you could tell like your brother or pops or who, I say, tell somebody to take everything. That's why it's there. They want you to take it. Like my pops got chairs in the basement with the 2000 NBA draft joint on it. You know how they put the covers on the chairs? Yeah. Man, my pops got that, the old school. Man, we got that in the basement right now. All like pins and buttons, anything that was there, my pops got all that. I told the young fella, I say, make sure y'all take everything and tell if you ain't, because you know, you ain't even gonna be thinking about it. I say, that's what you need to do when you go home, go to the hotel, tell your pop, tell everybody to take everything. Whoever y'all got with you, tell them to take everything. Because you're going to be, like you say, you're going to be in the tailspin, going all over, worried for a minute. Then when you ain't worried, they taking your ass and you're gone. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got time to do it, but tell them to take everything they sit on your table. Get all that shit.
Here with something.
Hey, straight up.
Oh, man.
You get drafted by Sacramento. How was it when you your first practice, when you finally got in there, and you see the NBA socks, you see your last name on the back of the jerseys. How was that to see all that?
That was fire, but it's also different because once you get drafted, you start practicing with the team, but it ain't the team, it's the summer league team.
Yeah. Right. Oh well, we didn't do summer league, but summer league, yeah.
So for me, when I got drafted, I flew out the next day. We get straight to work. It's summer league. We getting ready for summer league now. So I'm out here cooking it and I'm frying. I'm like, oh, it's up. Like this it. Like, and it almost got to the point. I'm like, man, this shit kind of easy. Like, you know what I mean? And like I said, this is summer league roster. So So it was smooth, like, you know what I'm saying. I thought this. I'm like, this gonna be easy. I'm thinking the level of competition is this.
Yeah,
misleading a little bit.
Yeah, I was in for a rude awakening, brother. Yeah.
Get to the league, this guy's way better. That don't miss.
Man, I matched up with Samuel Dallenberg in practice, bro. I couldn't get a shot off. Couldn't get a shot off.
Straight up and down, but
yeah, Sammy was blocking everything back then. So
I remember the first time we met Sammy at Nike camp. You remember that, Q?
Yeah, with the headphones.
Yes, the first time we met Sammy at Nike camp. He didn't know no English, but all he knew was Tupac lyrics. All he used to listen to was Tupac in his headphones. But he knew every Tupac lyric there was, and he didn't know no other English.
That's hard, though.
And all he used to do was smile, man. That was my guy, man. He was a good dude. You go through your rookie year and you kind of see what the league is. You come to All-Star game and you you get a chance to be on the All-Star team, the rookie All-Star team. How was like that to get to experience that weekend? 'Cause that was your first All-Star weekend.
Man, that's probably like the first time I felt like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you watch TV and you see the celebrities walking across the red carpet and shit, like the Hollywood stars. Like they just, you know what I'm saying? People falling at their feet and shit. Like
City crazy.
So I would say that's like my first, bro, I'm like, everybody know who I am. Like I can't walk into the corner store and get some chips without like, hey, can I get your order? Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the first time I really felt like a celebrity, bro. Like, so, and then it happened to be in LA, so it was just different.
Like, crazy.
But crazy experience. All-Star Weekend was, you know how it goes. It's crazy, bro. Like it's a gang of parties. It's a good time. It's almost too much to do. Like you could be partying all day for real. So I'm not the craziest partier, but you know, I definitely had a great time out there. So I ain't got no wild party stories or nothing like that. Like, but I definitely had a good time out there.
Was that the first time like it was like a celebrity that you knew from like seeing on TV or seeing somewhere like, but you didn't know them and they spoke to you and you was like, oh, like wait a minute, like did that happen to you there at that point?
Bro, it was a few times. Chris Rock spoke to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I got a little nod from like Jack Nicholson. It was crazy. Man, I'm just seeing these people. I'm just like spinning in circles at all these people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so you know, it was definitely cool. I like Fat Joe. Man, it was crazy. Like people I grew up watching. So it like for them to know me by name, like it was definitely like a surreal moment. And you know, it was cool. Like it's just a part of that journey. Y'all know how it go, man. That shit, you know, it make you feel like you did something for sure.
Yeah,
like,
feel like you somebody in there. Yeah, I definitely feel.
Yeah, you feel like the shit, bro. Like, damn, this is cool as hell. Like,
yeah. What was your biggest adjustment your rookie year? Like, you know, because like you played in summer league, you dominated, but now you in the league and you run into these, you know, these guys who are veterans, the Tim Duncans, all of these guys that you have to match up with. What was your biggest adjustment your rookie year that you had to really learn on the fly?
For me, it was more so just slowing down. Like, you know, I always had like a natural feel for the game. You know, the way I played the game, it was always like I was a counter player. So whatever you took away, I just did the opposite. Like
The opposite, yeah.
that was my game. So I've always had that type of feel when it came to the game, but you know, you don't really like become him in the league until you get that pace. Like, and
Definitely,
it's hard to kind of put it into words, but like
it's
you
a
just
slower
know that
pace.
Like,
You would think
no
it'd
matter
be faster.
how much they do, it never change your pace. Like, So it was just slowing down. You know, you coming in, you making fast ass moves, you all off balance. Like,
Damn, they're about to fall.
And, yeah, you tripping over your own feet. So it was more so just, you know, finding my pace and just kind of slowing down. You know, as young guys in the league, we come in and we super impatient. Like it's a lot of like anxiousness to like, let me get this right. So you do a lot of like, you know, rushed like things on the court. So me figuring that out and just finding the pace and learning to be patient with the moves and things of that nature. Once I got that, you know, it kind of fell into place for me.
And you went through a coaching change your first year, didn't you?
Every year.
How was that getting in, being a rookie, and you trying to, like you say, you trying to learn the league, understand the league, figure out how to play, then boom, coach get fired, you get a new coach. Is that like starting back over from scratch, trying to figure out, now you got to figure out his direction and what he want from you and what he asking you to do? How was that?
Man, it was tough. For the most part, I just dealt with a lot of frustration year in and year out because one, I put these expectations on myself. Like like you said, once I got my foot in the door, it's like I want to do this, and this. I'm trying to make the playoffs. I'm trying to be an all-star. All of these things, and you know, your mindset can be that, but your franchise mindset could be something totally different. Like
you know that, don't you?
And And for the average person, they don't realize, like, the basketball part of the NBA, where we at today, is probably about 40%. Like, basketball is about 40%. The other 60 is all business. Like,
Boy.
Politics.
this is a business.
Straight up.
Like, these are billionaires, and this is a hobby for them. Like, they trying to figure out how I'm gonna make more money from my hobby. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
You may get drafted to this franchise, and you like, man, I'm trying to go be great. I'm trying to be better than Jordan, but that don't mean your franchise.
They don't want you to be that. Yeah.
We ain't ready to win right now. Like, you know what I mean? So it was more so that frustration, like, I had to deal with, on top of, like, I felt like I learned the NBA through chaos. Like, it was just, and that wasn't, so I operated in the way of chaos. Like, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't necessarily what the league was. Like I looked at a lot of other guys, like, environments in their situations, and I'm just like, man, my shit ain't nothing like that. Like, I'm
at all.
And, you know, and you got that pride and that, you know, that competitor in you. I want to be the best player in my class. So I'm looking at Jay Wall, I'm looking at Evan Turner, I'm looking at D Faze, looking at Paul George. I'm like, man, these dudes in great situations.
Yeah.
I got a new coach every fucking year for whatever reason. Like, so, and it's hard enough to win in the league, but it's also hard to win, like, in your first year. Like, that's not really a real thing. Like,
stay
camaraderie,
motivated.
chemistry, winning, like, being a winning team, that comes with time. Like, that comes with chemistry. Like, guys really, like, knowing each other. The reason the Spurs were as dominant as they were, they knew each other. Like, this shit was like waking up, brushing their teeth. I know exactly what Ginobili gonna be. I know exactly
what he gonna do,
TP gonna be.
Where he gonna be
I know
at.
every, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that art in the league has kind of gotten away from, like, really building teams that know each other. Like, everything is like, we looking for success overnight type. Like, and that's why, you know, it's almost like the same teams are finding success, if that makes sense.
Nah, yeah.
Speak on how you stay motivated through that, because, like, that was a thing about every team I played for was rebuilding or starting over. You know what I'm saying? So when you go from winning your whole life until then you get to the league, and it's just like it feel like you almost accepting losing to get that next draft pick. So how do you stay motivated every year to really just push and push and push, even though an organization is really cool with starting over and not winning how you want them to win?
Bro, honestly, I put it on my foundation, and that's just being a competitor. Like, I hated to lose. I still hate to lose.
Straight
up
up.
play Uno. I'm gonna be mad if I lose.
Me too.
Like, run it back. Spades come out, I'm the loudest on the table. Like,
Straight
run it
up.
back. You know what I mean? So I'm just a natural competitor. So I don't like the feeling of, you know, my opponent outplaying me or outdoing me or preventing me from doing what I need to do. I don't like that feeling. So just that alone gonna have me, you know, on 10. I'm ready to go. But I'm glad you said that. Like, I just remember conversations like I would complain to management, like, bro, like, we losing it. Like, I ain't cool. Like, you gotta have a better attitude. I'm like, how the fuck I'm gonna have a better attitude about losing?
Straight up.
Like, I don't want to have a better attitude about it. I don't want to lose. Like, that's what I have an attitude about, brother. Like,
right.
So it's like, it was almost to where it was like, you got to get used to losing it and, like, be a good sport about it. But it's just like, bro, that's not what I signed up for. Like,
yeah.
So trying to navigate through that little mental game, like, because honestly, if you get used to losing, you kind of lose your edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a competitor, like.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm losing tonight, it's all good. Like, that's not a good mindset to have when you trying to chase greatness or you trying to be the best version of yourself.
Real talk.
So I struggled with that, but it just really fell on my foundation. Like, I'm gonna outplay whoever in front of me. And if you had a big name and I felt like I was better than you, I'm a shark in bloody water. You know what I mean? So
Smell it.
Like I said, I just kind of fell on my foundation.
Tell me about 2015 and 16, man. That's all-star year. You getting triple doubles all over the place. first person since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 40, 20, and 10. You know what I'm saying? Consecutive triple-double. I mean, consecutive 20, 20, and 10 rebound and assist games. Like, how did you feel that year? Did you feel like you was like one of, if not the best player in the league type shit? Like, did you feel like nobody couldn't stop you? Like, how was that year for you? Because you put up crazy numbers. You hit a 50 burger something that year, didn't you? Yeah, a 56-point game that season. Like, talk to me about 15, 16.
Man, shout out to Doe. Honestly, like, it was Rondo, bro. He put that battery in my back. He put, things into perspective for me. He helped me understand the game more. He slowed the game down for me. I started paying more attention to details. Just everything kind of slowed down, and that was just that Rondo effect for me. That's still my guy to this day. He's still coaching me, and I love that about him. So
Straight up.
Yeah, that's all though. He helped me understand the game, and it just put me in a place. And my confidence was on 1,000. Like you said,
right.
I thought I was the best. I was past trying to be the best big in the league. Like I felt like I established that. Like now I'm trying to be. Every time you mention Bron, Steph, KD, I want my name somewhere in that category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to put my name up there with the elites, and I was locked in. I was confident. The game slowed down for me, and I was a shark in bloody water. Whoever was in front of me, it was eat, and that's what it was. So I had, and on top of that, I talk about how Rondo played a huge role in just my growth as a player, but it was also the mental part where it was more so accepting and realizing that I can't do nothing about, what's happening over my head. You know what I mean? Like, it was frustrating. Like, it was hard to deal with. So I was just like, control what you can control. Go be the best player on the floor every night. Like, that's what you can control. Go be the best player on the floor every night. And everything else will start taking care of itself. So that was just kind of my mindset, and that was my approach. And I had a lot of successful nights, just, switching the mindset. So shout out to Doe, bro. He definitely played a huge impact on my career and taking that next step.
Shout out Rondo.
When you walked in that locker room All-Star weekend and being an All-Star and you seeing the rest of the guys up in there, how did you feel in that moment? Like when you finally made an All-Star team, like how did you feel in that moment? Because I know a lot of people's like, yeah, you hear your name called that you made the All-Star team, but you don't really feel it until you walk in that locker room with the rest of the guys. It feels a whole another level.
So crazy thing is, my first All-Star was actually a replacement.
Yeah.
And that's
Kobe.
the year I ended up replacing Kobe. So it's the year Kobe tore his Achilles. Yeah, he did tear his Achilles. So I was a replacement. So I don't know. I kind of walked in and I felt like everybody was kind of looking at me like, man, you ain't even supposed to be here for real. Like that was kind of the feeling I was getting. But
Wow.
But nah, it was all love. I had an amazing time. It was an amazing experience. But it also goes to like the outside person looking in, you think it's just a great time. But once I got on that side of it, and it was just like the draft. I'm like, holy shit, bro! They put us
right.
We working, bro. You're exhausted by the end of the weekend, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So the next time, my next couple times around, I was a little more savvy about it. Like, let's not go too hard this time, or ease up a little bit in the beginning of the weekend or towards the end, just to find that rest in between, because it's definitely a busy-ass weekend.
Yeah. When you played for the Pelicans, it was you, Rondo, and AD. Like, I really felt that y'all could go to the championship and win. I felt that y'all matched up. Like, couldn't nobody match up with y'all. Like it was a problem. Like, I can go on this side and give it to you. I can go on the other side and give it to AD. I can screen and roll. You and AD space the floor. I had y'all winning the championship that year, like no doubt. Like I was
Right.
butt hurt when you got hurt that season. What clicked for y'all? I feel like y'all would have gave everybody problems because nobody could match up with y'all, and y'all was dominant defensively and offensively. Y'all had a floor general in Rondo, and y'all had two of the most unstoppable players in the league. Did you feel that? Did you feel that way that y'all was gonna really make some noise that year in the playoffs?
Absolutely. And I think that entire team felt that way. And, it was a perfect mixture of guys. And when I say that, it took a guy like Rondo, one of the most unselfish guys to ever play the game. On top of him just being brilliant, and we all know how smart he is. It's been talked about time and time again. So besides that, he's one of the most unselfish guys to play the game. He understands the game fully. So that dynamic, having a guy like Alvin Gentry as our coach.
That was our first coach, Al, man.
Super
Okay, guys.
open. You know how Alvin
okay, guys.
open-minded.
Let's get it together. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, open-minded. He lets you play freely. Like, it's almost like, it's like organized pickup, like when it comes to his style of play. But it brings out the best in every guy on the floor. So, that combination and him just allowing us to really tap into our games. And then on top of that was Drew Holiday. I mean, we see what he just did for the Celtics this year. He's always been that type of guy. One of the most underrated players to come through this league. The ultimate team guy, the ultimate teammate, one of the best perimeter defenders I've ever seen. Just the pride and the way he embraces the defensive side of the floor, you don't see that from a lot of guys. Yeah. And on top of that, he gonna come down on the other end and give you a bucket. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, just that combination of guys was perfect. So, and then obviously AD being as, great as he is, and, I was in my moment as well. So, it was a perfect mixture of guys. It was just, it sucked that it was short-lived because I know every guy on that roster felt like we had something brewing. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
it was almost like we were like the bad news bears because it wasn't supposed to work. Like, I kind of got shipped off to kind of just, whatever, like do something with them. And we ended up creating a situation that was, possibly on the verge of being special. So
I
was
thought
dope,
y'all
man.
finna really shock the world, man, if y'all could have been healthy for the
me
playoffs, man. God, I was talking so much shit about y'all. Like, guys were like, nah. I was like, boy, what they gonna do? They can't do nothing. There's
You had to
nothing they
pick your
can do.
poison, bro.
You had to pick your
Yeah,
poison. How was it just seeing, you so dominating in what you do? You versatile, you in and out, you can do both. But just having another big man on the side of you that just as talented as you, do the same thing defensively, offensively. How was that to just have because usually when you're a good big man, you don't play with other good big men. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how was that to
I would
finally
say
have
that.
a big guy with you that like, man, y'all rock together and y'all compliment each other?
Outside of playing for Golden State, that was the easiest basketball I played. And it was always great to know I had another guy at the rim, another guy to have because being the big, it's all you're the last line of defense. Like if it gets past you, the team is fucked. Like that's just how it goes. So having that counterpartner that was as versatile. Because on top of AD being a good big, like he's kind of that. He's that unicorn of this era of versatile bigs. Like he was the first of that that kind. Well, I would say Lamar. Anyway, but for this generation, AD was that version of it. So just the combination, it worked perfectly defensively. He could cover up a lot of my mistakes and my flaws, and it was vice versa. When we would have to have, the bigger bigs or the more physical bigs, that was more my matchup compared to the guys that could move. So it was always a night where, either I was taking a little responsibility from him and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it was the perfect combination. And like I said, that was the easiest basketball I played. And shit, every night we knew the paint was on lock. Like, that was never our concern. We knew it was hard enough to deal with us individually. Like us as teammates, we knew nobody could match up. It didn't matter who it was.
It was like y'all was taking turns scoring 40. Like tonight, I'm gonna score 40, and tomorrow, you score 40. Like that shit was crazy to me. That shit was crazy. You got a chance to play with Rondo twice. I went after they won a championship. I went to the Celtics. I was in the Celtics. I went through training camp with them and all that stuff. I wound up getting cut, but I was there for like 2 months, and I was calling my homeboys at the crib. Was like, Rondo is that dude. Like I'm talking about, because I couldn't believe that he had so much control, and like how you see Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen basically like follow him, like let him lead and all that. And usually you don't get that from veteran guys. So I'm calling back at the crib. It's like, bro, Rondo like CP and them. Nah, he one of them, bro. They like, nah, Rondo ain't that good. But just speak on just like, man, just a basketball mind. How good of a dude Rondo is. Like, a lot of people don't know Rondo because Rondo, like, real closed off. You know what I'm saying? And he like us, like, where we come from,
exactly
you don't do all that smiling and shit like that, because when you smiling doing all that, people will fuck with you. Like you weak. So we don't smile a lot and all this. Yeah, that's a sign of weakness. But just speak on how just Rondo is like a genius when it comes to basketball, a genius when it comes to leadership. I mean, how straightforward and just how much of a good dude he is overall.
Man, super good dude, first off, man. And, you know, he's an open door to anybody. When you're a young guy coming up, he's automatically taking you under his wing. You don't even have to ask. You don't have to, you know, get like, hey, young fella, come with me. He's like that type of guy. So, and obviously he came from, you know, underneath some guys that were about the same thing, the KGs, the Paul Pierces, the Ray Allens, guys like that, the Perks. So he came from a good OG tree, especially we all know what KG was to the culture, you know what I mean? So he comes up from under that wing, and you know, I feel like once you kind of get embraced with that, you know, I call it kind of like a bloodline. I feel like I'm underneath the KG bloodline. Yeah. And once you kind of, you know, blessed in, it's kind of your responsibility to hand it off to the next. You know what I mean? To share that love, to share that knowledge. And but as far as Rondo, you know, he definitely kept the bloodline strong, and he's taken a lot of guys under his wings. And then when it just comes to the intelligence, and you know, it's not a lot to it when it comes to learning the game. Sometimes it's just as simple as sitting your ass down and watching film.
Yeah.
Like, and it takes a guy like Rondo to just break it down and help you understand, like, it ain't about necessarily going to the gym and shooting 3,000 shots. Like, you can go shoot 3,000 shots, make all 3,000, and get in the game, and those same 3,000 you shot are bad shots.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize from watching film or breaking down, you know, the small things in the game that, you know what I'm saying, those are bad shots or where my good shots are. Like, it's more to it than just taking shots and making them, you know what I mean? So adding that layer to the game for you, breaking the game down to, like I said, more about details. And, you know, once you kind of get that mental part of the game down, that's when you really, really take that next step in your development and the way you produce on a nightly basis. So he unlocked that for me, and he's done it for, you know, many others. And I mean, I can talk all day about the brilliant shit this dude do. Like,
straight up.
Yeah, and just him being on your roster, he don't even have to play. What he did for the Lakers, bro, is crazy. The dude barely played. Like, he was still the third best player on the team. He was unreal.
An extension of the coach too, though. You know how important that is.
Yeah. It's crazy the way he impacts the team. So definitely one of the most powerful minds that come through this game for sure.
So talk to me about, like, finding out you about to be traded from Sacramento, bro. Like, we all pretty much saw it on TV and stuff like that. But from the player standpoint, tell me how it is, because to me this was like one of the shining moments in, like, where people think because you make the league or you got money to everything. Like, we human at the end of the day. And that's the most important thing. So finding out, like you the franchise player and finding out during your moment at All-Star Weekend, you had media availability and you find out right there. Like how was that for you?
That shit was embarrassing as hell, and it's like it was one of them situations where you feel like everybody knew the running joke or the secret besides you, and then once you walk in, they just start kind of laughing at you and shit. Like it felt like that situation. So, you know, it was embarrassing. That shit hurt, and you know, don't nobody like the feeling of being lied to. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You handled it player though. You handled it real player.
Nah, you kept
real player with that. I had to give you that now.
Yeah. Had to, but man, that shit was just crazy to hear, bro. Like, and it's almost like you for real. Like, but in my head, it's like there's no reason for this guy to be lying to me right now with these cameras in my face.
Yeah.
So, you know, that shit sucked, bro. It ain't really no way around it. That shit sucked. It really did. That shit sucked.
Yeah, straight up.
How was it when you got injured? Kobe reached out to you to like give you some advice. Like, I don't know if you and Kobe had a relationship, like or a talking relationship before that, but for him to reach out to you to just give you advice on you being hurt and to help you out to get back and get better. So that means Kobe been watching your career and been looking at you, which he watch everybody. He like he got like an eye in the sky. Kobe watch everybody who play in the league and people who coming. But how was that for him to reach out to you and give you some type of motivation on getting back and getting back right?
I was dope, man. It's Bean at the end of the day, bro. So if you even on this radar, bro, you doing something right. Like
straight up.
You know what I mean? So you know, we even before then, you know, me and Cole were in contact, and it was more so about it was at the time where I was supposed to be traded to the Lakers. I think this was I want to say 14. It was 14 or 15. It might have been 15. But I was supposed to get traded to the Lakers. And at the time, it was when Mitch Kupchak was there. So the deal ended up not happening, and they ended up firing Mitch that summer.
Oh, man. So both y'all with an attitude like that on the same squad? Oh, man, it's been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been dope, man. Just, you know, at that stage in my career, having an opportunity to learn from Bean on a, you know, everyday basis. And, you know, I'm sure my game would have definitely went to the next level with just picking his brain and understanding his mindset and just honestly being in the presence of greatness. I didn't have that opportunity. So, you know, I definitely wish that situation would have went differently. But outside of that, having Cole reach out, you know, about the injury was obviously inspiring. You know, we all watched Cole go through the same injury. So, you know, in that current time, he made it, you know, more than, you know, possible to be like, I can come back from this. You know what I'm saying? To watch him do it at that late in his career, you know, it inspired a lot of guys. So, especially just battling with injury, not just that one specifically, but just injury in general. All them shit's hard to deal with. So it was inspiring to see, and, you know, he definitely was, you know, a person that pushed me to, you know, get through that process and, you know, get healthy again and keep, you know, going on with my career. So I reached out to Dominique Wilkins. Dominique came back from the same injury and dominated. So,
it went crazy.
You know, I did my research when it came to guys that dealt with it, and, you know, Dominique reached out and gave me some great words of advice as well. So shout out to Dominique Wilkins. But, you know, Cole definitely played a big part in that.
That's what's up.
Speaking on the injuries, like, I don't want to go through every which one, like, but you had the, you know, obviously the Achilles, then you had the quad, then you had the ACL. Like, tell me how you mentally, you know what I'm saying, like, because these are, like, guys have ended their careers on just one of them individually, and you've had boom, 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 and you mentally are able to stay with it, build your body up. And we as athletes know D had more surgeries than I, but I had my couple, and it's like we know that rehab is the hardest, the worst part of anything. It's like it challenges you in ways you could never even imagine just because you just running. It's like the ending point is nowhere in sight and you just fighting for something that you can't even see, like really is far away. Just talk about mentally how you dealt with that. Because like you a guy that's saying, it just started when you were in the prime. You at the top of the, you know what I'm saying, the top of the food chain, eating whatever you want. And then to have that happen, you know what I'm saying, to have that
contract
happen.
year too, shit.
And it happened, yeah. So like talk about that from the mental standpoint. How do you continue to battle through and then, you know, you build yourself back up to get back out there?
Honestly, bro, what really pushed me was I've seen it before, just in different form. Like, for me to get to that point in my life, I had been through so much shit. Like, I've been through so much adversity. This shit didn't start for me as a pro. Like,
right.
And that's why I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. Like, all the shit I went through as a jit, like, young teenager, young adult, like, all that shit prepared me for that moment. Like,
yeah.
So, as far as, like, me just like, I'm gonna get up and keep pushing, that's who I am. Like, I ain't got no choice. I'm like, once you hit rock bottom, you ain't got nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So, and if you sulk and sit there, motherfucker, you gonna stay at the bottom. So for me, I don't like the feeling of being at the bottom. Like, that's just me. Like, you know, I'm not comfortable with that feeling. So I'm gonna put my head down and I'm gonna work. And that goes for anything going in my life at any point in my life. That's what life is. Life is full of adversity. You gonna hit hard times. And them motherfuckers ain't gonna never stop coming. Like, hard times are forever. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody exempt from it. So the only way to get through hard times is put your head down and keep it pushing. Like, that's all you can do. Or you can sit in that moment, soak, and rot away. That's your only two options.
I was one of them dudes. When you went down, sending up the prayers and hoping everything all right, but I was thinking to myself, like, God damn. And
right, man. That shit sucks. Yeah, that shit
stood
sucks,
up
bro.
and you walked it down, though. I got a super salute to you, bro. You walked every one of them down and came out the other side of it still able to hoop. Like, not everybody can say that. Even people, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? People that go through that, like, yeah, they may come back and then it's like, all right, they after a little bit they leave it alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? You done came back from 3 big boy crazy ones and still came back. Then got you a chip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
champ.
got me
call
one,
me
bro.
champ now. You feel me?
Call me champ, brother. But yeah, bro. And honestly, like I said earlier, like, I fell in love with the game. So, you know, once I got healthy, like, you know, things don't quite work out the way you want them to. Once you know, after you kind of deal with that, you know, you start getting narratives. They start putting labels on you. You know, not what he used to be. Whatever. Like, all that shit happens. Work ain't the same. So it's like, but bro, I still love to hoop. Like, I want to go hoop.
Right. I'm
sitting at home like, yeah, I got enough money to do whatever I want. Like, yeah, but I want to go hoop. Like, at the end of the day, I fell in love with hooping. It wasn't, you know, being rich or being famous. I fell in love with hooping. So for me, it's like, I want to hoop. So that's what I'm going to keep doing until this shit get boring to me. So
yeah, me having them knee surgeries is always like when I see you and I see D Rose when he went through, just knowing just the mental strain and how you be drained for having to go through all that to get back. That's why I be kind of cringy when I hear Stephen A. talk about Kawhi, because it be like, man, you understand why. If you understand what Kawhi got to go through, it's like you got 2 kids on your knees that you got to take care and feed every single day, 24 hours. It's a 24-hour job to take care of these needs just to get out here and hoop for 30 minutes or 35 minutes. And the average fan don't really understand that. Like I got to go through a whole process just to hoop. You know what I'm saying? So for he going through 82 games or 70 games or whatever it is, he got his daily routine got to be a daily routine every day just to hoop. And people don't, the casual person don't understand that. So when people freely speak and be like, oh, he always hurt, it'd be like, man, you think we want to be hurt? Like, do you know what we sacrificing mentally just to play?
You know how bad this shit hurt?
Straight up. I stiff I am when I get up and go and use the bathroom in the morning. Like,
Right.
they don't
This shit
understand
hurt,
that,
dog.
bro. They don't understand that, bro. That's why I always be.
You can't expect them to, though, man.
Yeah.
You can't expect them to. Like, this shit's so far gone, like when you really think about what we fell in love with, like when you really just think about the game of basketball, it's almost like we on some psychotic shit. We fell in love with putting a basketball through a hole.
Yeah.
We fell in love with that. So
And we
to
feel like we
expect the average
superheroes.
person to understand it or understand what we go through to perfect putting that basketball through the hole, they'll never understand it. Like, we really on some psychotic shit, bro.
And we feel like we superheroes. Like, we can't be hurt or stopped. We feel like we superheroes.
For sure, bro. They'll never understand it.
Hey, tell me this though, like how good did it feel like to win the championship in Taiwan? Like after everything, like you say, all of the injuries, the whole journey, the whole winding path, like to have the confetti, I'm watching you, MVP, trophy in one hand, you know what I'm saying? Like how good did that feel? Like, trust me, and I'm gonna tell you this, I know I didn't win in the league, you feel me, in the NBA. I won a Big 3 championship, and that shit felt unbelievable because that was legit like the first time since I've won since high school, bro.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm like the champion, like, albeit it was the Big 3, but like just talk about how good that felt, especially with everything that you know, the whole road and journey that got you there.
Bro, it felt good. And honestly, like you said, since I started playing basketball, I was good at this shit, and it wasn't good in just my individual talent. I was good into the fact that I helped win. Like, you know what I mean?
My team,
so I was used to winning.
Exactly.
So I've always labeled myself as a winner. So for me to kind of go through those years in the beginning of my career, like I said, I got to accept the mindset of being a loser. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I had to accept that, and now getting to that point, and obviously I've played in the finals. I've had my chances at winning, but just to get back to that feeling of knowing I'm a winner, like that's more so like what it was about to me. Like I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew who I was this whole time.
Right.
I just had to listen to y'all bullshit. And honestly, it don't matter what level it's at. Like in any category, it's hard to win. It's hard to win the lottery. It's hard to win. It's hard to win a promotion. It's hard to win, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So whenever you get a chance at winning, you need to celebrate that shit because it's hard to win in anything in life. Like, so fuck it. Celebrate your wins, bro.
Straight up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tell us about that finals against Toronto that you played in, and then you got you see KD go down.
Man, bro.
You see KD go down, you see Clay go down, it's like the team was just breaking down. Like how
we were bad, bro.
even the
We
road
broke
to get
down
there, because there was a
bad.
road y'all had to get there. It's like y'all took a lot to even get there.
Man, it was a rough run, and you know, it was a lot of hype with that team coming in. It was, you know, considered one of the greatest if we were to win it. It was 5 All-Stars in one line. It was just a lot to it. So obviously it was pressure to win, and on top of it being pressure to win, we wanted to win. We expected to win. We thought we were gonna win it. But that injury bug, bro, nobody is exempt from it, bro. Like,
Nobody.
Man, and that's the part of sports that suck. Like, no matter
Except
how much
LeBron
you prepare,
James.
no matter how much, yeah.
No ability is better than availability.
Yeah.
Except LeBron
Right,
James,
so-
he there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a bad run, bro. Everybody got hurt. You know, I had just came back from the quad injury, so I was basically still hurt.
Yeah.
It just wasn't much there, and you know, it sucks how it ended because, you know, obviously that was the year KD ended up leaving, so it was a lot that kind of, you know, went into that. But you know, I always think like if we would have won it that year, the way, you know, we were expected to, what would have happened from that point? What would the league have looked like moving forward? So you know, that's always in the back of my mind. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I can accept the loss. It just happened that way. That's part of sports. But in the back of my mind, I just always wanted to know, like, what would the league have looked like if we, you know, won it that year?
Pulled it off.
We have run it back, same team. Would Katie have left? Like, there's so many things that, you know, went into that. What I want to know what would have happened.
Yeah. This what I want to know, man. You done got a few duffel bags in your day, man. You know, I know you done took care of my Dukes and, you know, people that's important to you. My favorite question I want to ask, if we was all young and dumb at one point, I want to know what you did to make Big Boogie feel good. Like, what type of, was it a whip? Was it a chain? Was it both? Was it, what did you do? We done heard Pride, T-Mac got the flausiest of everybody. That man, how much he spent on that jet, D-Miles? You remember that number?
Million.
Nah, hell no. I ain't never did nothing like that.
That's cashing out a different type of way. What did Boogie do though?
I had a period in my life where I was on my, you know, my flex and shit, but I ain't never been no show-off type guy. Like, that just ain't really, I'm already noticeable. I'm the tallest dude in the room, so for the most part, I be trying to be out the way, but I ain't no big flexer or nothing like that. But at one point, I had about 1.5 in the garage, like 1.5 in the garage. So I thought that was pretty.
Just
pretty
in
dope.
Cash, just on deck.
No. In whips.
Oh,
I had
okay,
about 1.5 in whips. So I thought that was some player shit for me. But outside of that,
what was the big boy though? What was your Sunday car? The one that you barely bring out? This the big boy.
Man, I was so wild, bro. I had an F12 Ferrari, and when I tell you I could barely fit in that motherfucker.
I was about to say, how the fuck did you do the Shaq shit? Like, how you fit in a Ferrari, bro? Like,
bro,
what?
I was in that motherfucker.
You just wanted that thing,
but,
was it a
honestly? Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh, that was in there.
I was too big. Yeah, I was scared of small car.
Bro, I could fit, but it was like perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
no more room left.
I probably I couldn't budge over to the right a little bit, but I probably had that car for about 6 months. I'm like, bro, this is stupid. Like, I can't.
I ain't messing with them little cars, man.
Yeah, bro, it was stupid, but definitely a fun car though. It was crazy. Definitely a fun car.
Start, bench, trade. You got to start one. You got to bench one. You got to trade one. AD.
What we got?
Dwight or KG. You got to start, bench, trade one.
Fuck.
I think I know what this should.
All right, I know how I'm gonna go with this, and this ain't no. I'm gonna go KG, start. I'm gonna bench Dwight. I'm gonna cut AD.
You gonna trade AD? We ain't gonna cut him. We gonna trade him.
Trade AD. Sorry.
We gonna trade AD. So, you had a lot of teammates.
No knock to nobody. I know I'm gonna get some heat, but no knock to nobody.
Oh no, it's all good.
All love, all love.
It's set
all
up
cold in the motherfucker. They all legends.
Yeah,
it's set up where you got to get rid of a great. So you done had a lot of teammates, over your NBA career. With you, if you add 4 more players to make an ultimate team of all teammates you done had, who would be them 4 other players that you would make your ultimate team?
Oh my God! Out of all the teammates I've had,
yeah, in the NBA,
you in there though. You one of them. You in there. Whatever, 4 or 5. You in there though.
All right, myself. I'm gonna go AD at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get tough.
You're gonna probably have one of the best ones, though.
I know, bro. I know.
You got some shit.
Jokic was my teammate. Giannis was my teammate.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. All right, I would go myself. I would go AD. At the 3, I'm going to go Kevin Durant. At my point,
okay, you got Steph.
I'll go Steph. And at my 2 guard.
Damn. That's gonna be a tough ass
I got
team.
PG.
Damn.
I got James. I'm gonna go PG at my 2. I'm gonna go PG
So
at my 2.
Steph, PG, KD, AD, and damn, bro, that's a crazy 5, bro. That's a
gonna
crazy
be one. We
5,
gonna put this
bro.
in a bracket. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I just want to touch on, you got a chance to go to Rio de Janeiro with the USA team and win the gold medal. A loaded squad, man. You had defenders, you had shooters, you had everybody. And it's Brazil, you know what I'm saying? You get a chance to go to Brazil. How was that to go over there and win the gold and represent Team USA? Because that's another milestone through this journey of basketball that everybody want to put on their belt or put on their brand. So how was that?
So you won right there too. You won right there too, boy. You won right there too.
But true, that's very true. But that was dope, bro. Like the introduction to the Olympics. I was just talking about this the other day. Like walking into the arena with all the athletes, like
all the
ceremony,
countries,
like the grand
that opening ceremony is crazy,
insane, bro. I never seen nothing like that in my life. So just coming where I come from and then working my way to the point where I'm literally representing my country in the sport. I never in a million years thought I would, get to that. But incredible moment, that's history. That's forever stamped. So obviously I'm honored to be a part of history. And one of the successors of Team USA when it comes to competing in the Olympics. It wasn't every year that Team USA has won. And if you are one of those teams that don't come back successful, you kind of get frowned upon. So
definitely do.
You kind of go over there prideful to make sure you're not that group to end up on the bad side of things. So
a lot of pressure these days.
I was honored to be able. Yeah, absolutely. So I was honored to be a part of that. I'm honored to say I'm a gold medalist, and it's not a lot of people that can say that. So
straight up,
and like you said, that's a W. Like we celebrated. When I got home, we celebrated for sure. So that was a special moment. And then being able to learn from those guys, learn from the greats. We had a lot of incredible guys on the team that year. So spending time with them, picking their brains, and then coming back from that, like I said, that was another milestone for me where it kept building me up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really there now.
Really one of them boys.
So so that kind of stamped me in the NBA and just kind of put me in the group of guys that I've been working for. I've been working to get to that point anyway. So it definitely boosted me and helped me, arrive to that point that I was trying to be at. So another very, very special moment for me in my basketball career.
Tell me about it now, man. Playing on a 3-on-3 team with Big Dwight, Quinn Cook, y'all doing something special. Tell me about that.
Honestly, it's just enjoying the game, enjoying our influence and enjoying the impact we have. And, me and Dwight have had discussions because we've kind of had a similar, exit when it came to, being out of the NBA. So, a lot of guys have struggled with that, throughout time. And it's not documented. It's not even really talked about. It's kind of, an issue that gets swept under the rug. And, it's hard for a lot of guys to, take that next step or continue playing because their ego or pride is in the way. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you kind of look back on it 10 years from, down the line, and it's like, man, I wish I would have just went ahead and continued doing it. Then you kind of live with this space that's, not filled for the rest of your life.
Sometimes you waste a lot of money and time, too. Money and time and years.
So, absolutely. So, me and Dwight have had some discussions, and, we just, kind of being bigger name guys that have taken that step and embraced it. We want to bring other guys along. We want to create avenues and platforms for guys to take that step, programs to take that step, that next step, and be comfortable with it. You know, like I said, it's a lot of ego, it's a lot of pride that has to be put aside to make that jump. So kind of want to be pioneers to it and show other guys that it's all right, bro. Like, you still great, and you can realize how great you are when these people from all over the world are embracing you. Like, you start to realize, like, damn, like, I am still important in this game, regardless if the narrative back home in the States says otherwise.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it can be something special. I definitely think it'll help heal and provide for a lot of guys that's in that situation, because it's a lot of guys that get kind of stuck in between.
Yeah.
Everybody's situation is different. Everybody can't go embrace the EuroLeague life. It's 10 months. Like, people got families, people, marriages, kids. It's a lot of different dynamics that prevent you from just going to another country and living there for 10, 12 months. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we just trying to create different avenues for guys in similar situations, and hopefully we can turn it into something special.
Talk about crossing over into the, also being in the media of a member of the media now. You know what I'm saying? You in the podcast and you on TV, you doing your thing. Talk about how that's going and how you transitioned into that.
Honestly, what did it for me was, me coming up in the league, and, it was always these different stories and narratives about me as a person and how I carry myself. And, I ain't never been a person afraid to stand up for himself. But at the end of the day, I've always tried to be as professional as I can be. And, coming up when we did, being professional was, you had to take a lot of things on the chin. They could say a big-ass lie about you, and you just had to take it on the chin. Like, it was considered unprofessional to speak out and say, that's a goddamn lie. Or, you know what I'm saying? So
Straight up.
I always struggle with that, and, for the most part, I just had to kind of sit back and allow people to think or say whatever they want, about my name or what they felt about me. And regardless if it's true or not, people run with that shit. So it kind of pushed me to, want to use my voice more and also just control my own narrative. Like, you can hear me speak every day or whenever you decide to about, clicking on some of the things I do, and you can find out yourself who I am as a person. Because I'm going to tell you exactly who I am. Like, I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't operate in the gray area. It's either black or white with me. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So just me more so controlling my own narrative, and, obviously I feel like I got a story to tell. I feel like I can inspire a lot of people. And it's a lot of youngins coming up the way I did. And if I could touch a few of those lives, like, I've done my job.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's a wrap, man. We appreciate you pulling up on us, big fella, man. We definitely respect it. We definitely love your game, love your career, still watching what you're doing, and we watching you hit them with the crossover now to the media game, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all guys. I had a blast, man.